In Chelsea news, it looks like we're going for a center back, which when you think about it is quite comical because when Enzo Marazza was our manager beginning of the season, if you all recall, Levi Colwell picked up a big injury, that ACL injury, knowing he was going to be out for pretty much the entire season. So what Enzo Marazza could do, he asked the board, he asked the owners, hey, I need a center back, let's go and get one in the market before it closes. The whole board, the owners say, no, we're good with who we have. Well, lo and behold, it now comes to Liam Rosenior. He comes in, and in about the first week of him being here, he asks the board for a center back, and they say, of course, we will bring you a center back, which, again, is quite comical because had they brought a CB in the beginning of the year, who knows how this season could have went for Enzo Marazza and for the rest of Chelsea. But that being said, we have to obviously look at what's happening now with the new manager and possibly bringing in Jacquet. And I do probably mispronounce his French name. I do apologize. But it seems like we're going for the French player who, yes, arguably is a pretty good player, but he's coming from the French league, and if we know anything, we've seen some players come from the French league, come to Chelsea, and not perform very well. Now, this could be a whole different scenario, but that being said, he's a young player, and yes, he's coming to a brand new situation at Chelsea, a new league. There are multiple things that could be factoring into him not performing to what we're expecting from him. Now, that being said, though, it's not like we are picking him and plopping him right into the starting 11, so that is good for him because he will have time to eventually get into the rhythm of what we're expecting from this club. And the thing is about it is that obviously Liam Rosenior was at Strasbourg and got to see how this player played because he did play against him when he was the manager of Strasbourg. So he does know a little bit about this guy and understand what he's capable of doing. So that is a positive. On top of that, he's actually pretty good with his feet. When he receives the ball, he understands his awareness, even if he's in tight spaces, which is what we need if we want to play with Liam Rosenior's tactics. So again, a guy like this could definitely help that. He's very good aerial-wise, not just defending, but also attacking. He can score goals off set pieces, and this has been something that we have been lacking at Chelsea. The fact is that we can have a guy who can be an aerial threat in the attacking opponent box on a set piece, on a corner kick, any type of, again, a freestanding free kick will help us out because it gives us a different threat because we played so many short free kicks and corner kicks. It's quite remarkable how we don't really put too many threats in. And yes, I understand we have scored off a few of our corner kicks, but we're not scoring as well as we should be, like other teams are. And if we can score off those goals, it makes a massive difference in how we can play our entire system. Because if we can score off those set pieces, like we've seen with Arsenal, they then can control and dictate the tempo of games. Because now if you take the lead off those set pieces, it again makes a massive difference, and Chelsea need a guy like him that can do that. And I would say right now we only really have Trevor Chalobah that can even do that. I wouldn't say Wesley Fofana is a very good aerial threat. Tosin's kind of it, but again, he's still not good shooting on target, and therefore again, this is another reason why we're probably going for this guy. On top of that, I will say he's very good at his spatial awareness as well. So when he is defending, he understands where he needs to be in space. So therefore, again, he's not making those last-ditch tackles, which we've seen time and time again with our Chelsea defenders. He understands where to position himself before the ball's even played, which makes it so much easier to defend. Think of a Virgil van Dijk. Not again that I'm comparing these two guys, they're exactly the same, but think about that. Virgil van Dijk typically knows where to place himself to, again, be in the best possible position to defend. This is what Jeremy brings to the entire table with his defending. So therefore, again, could make it a lot easier for Chelsea if we then push up high and do a lot of the high pressing, which again is what Liam Rosenior wants to do with our players, and having guys that he can rely on in the back line makes a massive difference. So overall, I do think this is a good setting up for us for the future-wise. Now, I understand we probably should go with someone more senior that has played in the Premier League because we do need someone to really be, again, a commander in that back line, which I don't think this guy will be, at least for right now, and that could be a massive difference and massive issue for Chelsea. But if we are looking long-term wise, this probably does seem like a good fit for the club. And obviously, if we're planning on sticking with Liam Rosenior for a long period of time, it makes sense to go for some players that can fit into his system. The only thing, which as we know for Chelsea, is how long this manager will actually stay here, because we've seen managers come and go fairly quickly. And if we pick up guys that can fit his system, then he's not here. Now we have all these extra players that don't fit into different systems. So it will be quite interesting to see how this plays out with possibly the new signing for Chelsea. I do want to know, though, what do you guys think about this signing possibly coming to Chelsea from the French League? Is it a good signing? Is it a bad signing? Or will we find out? So comment down below, and I'll get to those comments as quickly as possible, and I will see you in the next video.